guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you select the warehouse, and here you will get one create new warehouse. So once you click on create a new warehouse, then you will get this pop-up window where we can configure warehouse sizes. Okay. So
Okay.
this pop-up you are not able to getting. Try it once again. If you are not able.
Okay. Today I will try it again.
Yeah. If you are not able to getting this window, then you can try to create another Snowflake account with a different Gmail ID.
Okay.
Okay, so during configuration you may missed something, so that's why this pop-up you may didn't get it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So today we will discuss about a few topics. So whichever the query we are executing, which means few people will call it as executing the specific statement or select statement, okay, and executing. So as a technical, so we will call it as executing the query. So as the expert, we will call it as transaction. Every statement execution we will call it as a transaction. So transaction, execution, both are same only. Okay, so why it is both are same is when we are trying to executing a statement, that statement it belongs to either we are creating a something or we are performing some operations like insert, delete, update, or creating something. Okay, so we are loading activity, weaving activity, whatever it is. When the moment we executing the statement, which means our request is going to go and submit into the data storage layer. Okay, so before that it will go to the cloud services layer, whether I'm having authorized to execute this query or not. At the same time, other people is trying to performing some activity on the same table or not. So those controlling activity will be handled in cloud services layer. Okay, this we will call it as transaction. So the transaction is nothing but a DML statements given to the database between stable state of database, which means whenever we are trying to executing a statement, that is a combination of DML statements. So without DML statements, we cannot connect to the database or we cannot read the data from the databases. Okay, the transaction ends with TCL, transaction control language. Okay, so whenever you get interview question what is a transaction, so we should give it is a DML operations which is given to the database between stable state of database, and the transaction ends with TCL. Okay, and transaction has ACID properties, ACID properties. A is atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. Okay, atomicity means whether this query, any query, I'm just taking an example. This query, whether it is executing a successful or failure. So that will taken care by atomicity. Consistency means every transaction leaves the database in a consistent manner, which means once it is hitting to the database, and it just leave the connection between the databases to this query, and it will view the data, which means when I'm executing this select statement, okay, this transaction, this statement, it is hit to the database and it will show the data. Once we are able to view the result, then no connection between this select statement and the database until unless you re-execute the statement. And isolation means every transaction is unique, which means this select statement I have executed, this is a unique statement, and this is execution of the statement is unique, which means every transaction is unique and independent of this previous statements. Okay, and durability. It should leave the database in a durable manner, which means there is no specific relation between this statement and this statement. Okay, and it will work whichever the statement which we are trying to executing, it will applicable for only this select statement only, and there is no relation between this statement and this statement. Okay, so the transaction which I'm discussed, this is applicable for complete any software. You take any of the software, any of the database, any of the technical domains, this transaction is applicable for all. This transaction is applicable for Snowflake, Oracle, Teradata, SAP, any databases, any technical domains. Okay, any doubts here? Because this is really important. The way how we are trying to explaining is, it should be completely different and our answer should be unique, and it will be more in expertise level we have to answer it. Okay, okay, this concurrency control. So in Snowflake, what is concurrency control? So Snowflake follows ACID transaction. As I said, ACID means atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. This transactions is being controlled by cloud services layer. So how it is controlled those transactions? Because the cloud services layer having a metadata about the file, which means whenever we are trying to loading a file, let me elaborate. I have a EMP file, employee file, which is having some 100 records. Okay, when the moment we are trying to loading this employee file which is having 100 records to Snowflake, Snowflake database, so it will follow the Snowflake always follow the ACID transactions, and any transaction which you are performing, either data loading or any operations which you are performing, like DML operations. DML operations means delete, insert, and update. Okay, this is completely before loading the data, before performing any operations on Snowflake database. Before connecting to Snowflake database, we have a cloud services layer. In this cloud services layer, so this cloud services layer will maintain metadata information about the file. So metadata information about the table files in the sense this employee file having how many columns are there and each column level how many records are maintained. So it is more or less metadata is nothing but is a combination of file header which will be having information about the header related information. Okay, clear? Which means, so these are the columns, right? EMPID, first name, last name, gender, email. Okay, these are table header data, and this is table header related information, which means records. Okay, so if I remove this column names, then it is really difficult for us to identify which kind of data it is. Clear? And this metadata will be completely managed in cloud services layer. So this cloud services layer will having metadata information, and it will store the metadata information in the format of like this. Okay, cloud services layer will have the key and value, so it will maintain the data in the combination of like this. Okay, in case if Snowflake is hosted on AWS S3, then whenever we are trying to loading a data file or any file, so that file it will be maintained in the value combination of S3 is a storage or bucket, storage provider or bucket name, S3 bucket name, and the location path location it will get maintained in the cloud services layer. Okay, so in case if there is any lock in the cloud services layer with the combination of this same key and same value, then Snowflake will not allow you to perform any DML operations on that unless the first transaction get completed. Clear? Any doubts here? Okay, so next move on to the update. So update, how it will work in Snowflake is when we are trying to updating any record, even single record or multiple records, or even if you are trying to updating some 10,000 records also, what it will do is for other databases, how the data it will work is I have an employee ID and the employee name is Alex and the salary 25,000. Okay, so I want to, if I use other databases, how it will work is like Oracle, So I want to update a second record. So if I use the update statement, what will happen is, so I'm trying to updating a second record with salary. Instead of 15,000, I want to update 35,000. So when the moment I'll try to update a second record, what will happen is, here the data is there, right? It will replace the this 1500,000 record is there, right? That it will get replaced with 35,000. Okay. So this operation is happening on the live system. So this backup team, what they will do is, they'll take the backup and they will maintain in backup server team. Backup server, they will maintain the data. So it will, here what happen is, it is replacing the existing record. So what will happen if I maintain the data in Snowflake? Same update operation, how it will work in Snowflake. $15,000. So I'm using in Snowflake, I'm trying to updating a statement. I'm updating wherever 15,000 is there. I'm replacing with, I'm updating with 35,000. So what will happen is, this complete record, it will get deleted first. This record, it will be maintained in metadata layer level, which means the cloud services layer, they will maintain the data. And when the moment we execute, when the moment we insert the data in two records, this may maintained in file version 1 format, and the deleted, it will maintain file version 2. File version 2, and the first record, it will get inserted. The complete record, it will get deleted, and you will get 35,000. Okay. So how this update is working is, it's a combination of delete and insert statement. First it will delete the data, and it will insert a new record. Okay, this is file version 1. So the data, it will be maintained in versions format in Snowflake. Okay. So make sure that when we are executing an update statement in Snowflake, if we are trying to updating data, more than 80% of the data we are trying to updating, then the suggestible way is, first delete the entire data, then you can update fresh data by using insert statement. That is the recommendable. Okay. In case if you are updating a few records, then the updation will work like this. Okay. So which means, so here, wherever we are trying to updating, those records will be marked as deleted, and wherever we are trying to updating the latest record that will be marked as inserted. Okay, so this is how it will be maintained. So here if you observe 1, 2, 3, 4 is right, this is the values, and the active in the sense the n is there, right? This second record they are trying to updating with the new record, so that's why this is marked as deleted. Clear? Any doubts here? We'll see practically how this update statement will work.
Mahesh, one question.
Yes.
Yeah, Snowflake will consist like Snowflake maintain the data in column level, right?
Yes, column level it will maintain.
But here we are performing update operations in one of the column, right?
Correct.
So why it is deleting the entire row and inserting again?
Yeah. So here the row level data how it will maintain is this is the employee ID and Alex and the salary 25,000 and this is how the data it will be maintained in row level format. So if we having some 1 lakh records, it will maintain the data like that. So if you write a select query, how it will work in the backend is in other databases I'm telling. So what are the challenges if the data is maintained in a row format? Select star from EMP where employee name is Catherine. Okay, so if I'm having 1 lakh record, what will happen is it will verify 1 by 1 record. This record it will verify, then this record it will verify like that from top to till end. It will verify 1 by 1 record. It will take lot of time in the back end. So if the data is maintained in columnar row format, so the columnar data how it will maintain is so like this format level the data it will be maintained. So if you are writing a select query or if you are updating something, so it just directly go on this column level it will check it. Let me okay, so here, so this is the column which we are trying to looking at. So what will happen is it will concentrate on only this column and the exact where this name is Catherine is there, right? So it will verify with the first letter K is there, right? So it will go directly in starting with the letter K. Okay, if the n number of records are there with start with the letter K, then it will split the and it will partitioning the data, and at the time it will verify it. If wherever the Catherine is matching the record, then the complete whole record it will get it immediately. So within a fraction of seconds we will get the expected result. So this is the main advantages when you compare to row level data storing and column level data storage. Okay, so it is not here it is not only we are updating the record. So whenever we are trying to updating any specific column data, it will consider by default the entire column. It will consider the entire column. It will get deleted and it will insert a new record. Clear? This is the easiest way, and it will take very minimal time. You will get the output very quickly. Okay? Clear? Or any doubt here?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. Okay, let me select the database. DemoDB. By default, the schema will be public schema. Okay, so we will take this file example so that going forward we will use this employee table. Okay. So this is how we will get the file. Okay, so I'll give more details on this in going forward so that you will get very clear picture on this. So assume this is how the file it will be available in they shared the file and this file get loaded into Snowflake database. So by looking how we will get to know the table structure. So by sometimes according to our experience we can judge the table structure, or most of the cases our end users which means our consumers will give the table structure, which means which column has to be first and which data type it should be. So everything, those details they will share it to you. If they are not in a stage to share it to you, so by looking at the data we can suggest to them, like employee ID. So EMP ID. Employee ID, mostly 99% it should be a number format. Okay. And the first name. First name it should be a character. And the last name. String. First underscore name. Last underscore name. And gender. I'll make it as string. By default it will take one character only. And email type string, because this is also string, right? So string will allow special characters, numbers, characters. And date. Date I can make it as date, or I can make it as string. Anything. So both are same only. Ideally for date column I will give date only. In real time we is supposed to give date. Okay. Date of joining. Date of birth. Date of joining. Number. So here hyphen is coming, right? So numbers will not allow the special symbols. So that's why I will make it as string. And country will be a string format. And city also I will make it as string. and region string. Okay, so I'm creating a table. So employee table is created successfully. So if you go to the databases, so select the database name is DemoDB, expand it. So this is the table just now we have created, and if you click on employee, so you will get all the column names whichever it is maintained in the table. Okay, so here you are getting right type number 38 up to 38 characters numbers it will allow employee ID. So for first name, last name, rest all column names we have defined as a string. So which means here 1,67,77,216. So these many characters will allow in a single cell, which means so in Excel this is one cell, this is one cell, this is one cell, right? In a single cell, these many characters it will allow maximum. Okay, beyond that it won't get allowed in Snowflake. Okay, so ideally we won't get more than that. Okay, so these many characters we will never get a chance in a single cell. Okay, so that is more than sufficient. Clear? Any doubt here? So if we want to load this data into Snowflake, so here we having a load table is there, right? By clicking on this load table, it will ask the pop-up window which warehouse you are selecting. You are taking default warehouse or not. Okay, so this is also an interview question. Whenever you are trying to loading a data manually through without external staging area, without internal staging areas, so how you can load the data? So I'll tell you what is external staging area and what is internal staging area. So for time being we will park aside. So there is other way also, we can load the file directly into a table via databases component. Okay, so by default it will be a compute_wh. This is the standard warehouse which is given to us by Snowflake. So you can drop down. If you are already created custom virtual warehouses, those also. Sorry guys. Sorry guys. So by default we will get it a compute_wh. So if we already created extra small, custom virtual warehouses, so those it will appear here. So yesterday I have created custom virtual warehouse sizes, right, which is extra small. So it is up to you. Anyone can choose it. Okay, and click on next. So you will get the source file. So select the file from our local system. Okay, and click on next. You will get the file format. So we have selected a file from our local system, but which file format it is? Okay, so there is no file formats we have created. We have never created a file formats. Sorry, we have not yet created a file format. So here we will get the plus symbol, right? You click on plus button. Okay, you will get this pop-up, create a file format. So here you can make the CSV file, right? So CSV file format, I am naming CSV, and schema name by default it is public. So if we are in a public, then you can select by default it is public. So if you have created any different schema name, then you have to choose it. So how you will get to know is in which database, which schema level we have created a table, and we are trying to loading the data into a specific table, and that table whether it should be under a schema public or not, that also we have to verify it. So our case, schema name is public only, and the format type is CSV. Okay, so if you click drop down here, so these are the file formats only supported by Snowflake. Okay, CSV is structured data. CSV file formats we will call it as structured data, and REST, JSON, XML, AVRO, ORC, and Parquet, these are semi-structured data. Okay, Snowflake supported file formats. This is the interview question. What are the file formats supported by Snowflake? CSV, JSON, XML, AVRO, ORC, and Parquet. So these only the file formats will support. Other file formats Snowflake will not support. Okay, so our case we are loading CSV file. Okay, the compression method by default it will be auto zip. So these are the formats which are belongs to the compression related. Okay, so we will make it as auto, and comma column and separated is comma, because CSV is comma separated value. Okay, so all are default setting only, no need to change anything. Okay, header line skip is there, right? So here, so this is the first record, right? So where we will maintain the column names. If you want to skip this record, then we will make it as 1. Okay, how many records we want to skip it, we can skip it. Okay, so I don't want to load column names also. I don't want to load column names. Okay, that's why the first record it will skip, and from second record onwards it will get load the complete data. Okay, rest all are same only, no need to do anything, just click on finish it. Okay, click on load. So the data, the file which is getting encrypted, and the complete CSV file having 50 records. So the total rows are passed 50 and loaded 50 records. Okay, so if I look at the complete records, it will be 50 records, it will be maintained in this Excel sheet. Okay, click OK, the pop-up will disappear. Go to the worksheet. So now we will get to know how the data select star from employee. I want to look the data. See, this is how the data it will be loaded. Okay, so I'll show you once again. So this is the table which we have created, and this table is under the schema name is public. Okay, and select the databases, and select the database, and select the table name, and click the load table. Okay, so now this time I will select my custom warehouse. The next, I'm selecting the file from my local system and click on next. And CSV we have just now we have created, right? So by default it will take, and click on load. The data is encrypted end-to-end format. Okay, the file get loaded successfully. So here we have loaded twice, right? So we will get duplicate records. 2 times the file will get loaded. Okay, so total 100 records. So duplicate data is available, maintained. So now how we will delete the duplicate records? Okay, so this is the frequent work which we will do in real time. Okay, by mistakenly or some of the other reasons, maybe with the do not have a proper communication with the consumers. So there are a lot of issues or challenges in terms of the communication. So that this is the multiple ways we can get loaded the file into Snowflake database table. So that cases we have to remove the duplicate records from the table. So for that what we will do is we will create a new table called temp underscore employee. Temporary table I'm creating. Yeah, sorry. Like I don't want to make all the column names and no need to create it. So I want to create as it is. What are the columns? Data types was maintained for the table employee. Same I want to create with temp underscore employee. Okay, so you just specify it like employee. Okay, so the table will get created temp underscore employee with these many columns automatically. Okay, I missed the command table create or replace table name. Okay, table is created successfully. If we expand the database, and this is the, here it will get it added temp underscore employee. Okay, I'll insert. Okay, insert into temp underscore employee, select distinct keyword, distinct star from employee. So this distinct keyword, what it will do is it will collect only unique records. Okay, and it will inserting into this table temp underscore employee. Okay, if I execute this select statement, so only this select statement will capture only unique records, and those unique records it will inserted into this table temp underscore employee. Okay, now I'll write a select query select star from temp underscore employee. So you will get the unique records. So we got 49 rows. Maybe one of the record it may be duplicate record. Okay, so these are the unique records. Clear? Any doubts here? So this is how we will get deleted the duplicate record. This is the easiest way. So other way is there. Other way also is there. That is bit complicated. I'll tell you once you will get a maturity level on this Snowflake. Okay. Most of the people they will follow this process. Any doubts here? Okay. So if you want to, I want to update few of the records wherever if I want to look only limited data. So I don't want to look the complete data. Select star from temp underscore employee where I want to look for only males data. So in the where condition, specify the column name gender equal to male. So you will get only male records. Okay, if you want to look only female related data, then you select female. Okay, so you will get only female related information. Female related records, you will get it as 26 rows are available out of 49. Okay, and if you want to update temp underscore employee, so wherever the region is there, right, wherever Midwest is there, I will replace with South. Okay, so this is the requirement. Just imagine this is the requirement. So this how you can update is update. This is the keyword and this is the table name. Okay, then set. So what you are trying to set equal to South, where which means we are trying to set South in which column? Region column. So in which data we are trying to replacing with South, wherever Midwest is there, it will replace with the South. Okay. It is getting error message. Region spelling correct.
Is it case sensitive?
No. It is not case sensitive. Okay, let me try it. Okay, sorry, I did mistake here. here I'm not specifying the column name. Set region equal to south, where region equal to Midwest. So total 13 records it get updated. Let's see. So wherever Midwest is there, it will get updated as south. Okay, data get updated. If you see the past old records, employee old record data. So here you can see Midwest, right? So in the latest table, so we will get updated with south. Okay, so this is how the update will work. So update it will work. First it will delete the 13 records and it will insert freshly with south. Okay, so this is how the operations we can perform in Snowflake. Any questions here while loading the data into table? So this is not recommendable, guys, in the real time in the database how we will loaded the data. So this is not recommendable. The reason is if we are loading the file if you are loading a file directly to Snowflake Web Console in the sense this is called as complete Web Console. Okay, so if you directly loading the data into Snowflake Web Console, then few of the performance tuning activities it won't apply it, which means the majorly the compression techniques may not work 100% and the partitioning. So when we load the file into Snowflake data warehouse, so that automatic micro partitioning will not work 100%. Okay, so that is the main reason it is not recommendable to load the file directly into Web Console through Web Console. Any doubts here? So in the history you will get all the informations. So every query has its own unique ID. By going to the query ID, it will take you into the high level profile page where you will get the high level details like who executed, which warehouse is used, and how much time it took to execute the query, and when it got started and executed. So every information you will get it. Okay. Have you received notes, guys? Hello.
No, Mahesh, not yet.
Okay, I think he forgot, so I'll remind him to share
I have
it
received
again.
yesterday.
Okay. Yesterday class? Yesterday class I didn't share it. Yesterday I didn't share it, so I'll share it today. So yesterday I was a bit busy, so I didn't get a chance to prepare the document. So I'll share it to you. He will share it to everyone. Okay. Okay. So here, how we will get to know how long the query should wait. So here, 1 minute. Alter session used. So as I told you, right? So once we execute the query for the first time, if you go to the history, it is used extra small warehouse. You may get doubt. So we already executed this query many times, right? So I'll come to the point. So if I re-execute the same query again, ideally it should not go and hit the data storage layer. But this time, let's see what will happen. So still it is going to database and hitting to the database. If I execute n number of times it is go and hit the data storage layer. Why the data it is not stored in query result cache? The reason is we have disabled the cached result. Okay, this is the statement. So this is the interview question: how you can disable cached result. This will disable all the cache result, which means the query result cache, virtual warehouse cache, and memory cache. These three caches will disabled. So by default it will be true. Okay, if you want to disable it, you can make it false. Alter session set used cache result equal to true. So if I execute run this query, and if I want to execute the select statement, so now I'm going to the history tab, refreshing. Now it is not going and hitting the data storage layer. Query result cache is reusing because I have enabled the cached result. Okay, how to enable the cached result is alter session set used cached result equal to true. Matic